Hey everyone, it's Madeline, and this video is all about must-try foods when visiting Scotland. Discovering local restaurants and eating a country's popular dishes is one of our favorite ways to explore and immerse ourselves in the local culture. Scotland is known for its plentiful fresh seafood, savory puddings and pies, as well as tasty desserts. They use local ingredients and you can taste it in every bite. We love food, and here's a list of some amazing meals we enjoyed while traveling across Scotland. Let us know your favorite dish in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe for more food adventures. After a long day of exploring the Scottish Highlands, sipping scotch from one of the many distilleries, or sightseeing the beautiful lochs and castles all over the country, there's nothing better than a hearty Scottish meal. Here are 22 of our favorite things we ate and drank while traveling across Scotland. A full Scottish breakfast. Breakfast is incredibly important when you're spending the day hiking through the Highlands or exploring museums in Edinburgh. A full Scottish breakfast is comprised of sausages, bacon, tomatoes, fried eggs, mushrooms, and baked beans. Sometimes you'll also have haggis, black pudding, or tatty scones, which are similar to potato pancakes. This meal is the fuel you'll need for a big day of exploring. Often, a Scottish breakfast is complimentary or available for a low price at the hotel you're staying at. It can be a good value-added option for travelers. Haggis. One of the most famous Scottish dishes is haggis. Haggis is made from sheep heart, lungs, and liver mixed with grains and spices, then stuffed into the sheep's stomach or a synthetic casing to be cooked. As of the making of this video, haggis is illegal in the United States, and we feel that added a bit of mystery to the dish. We visited the Haggis Box in Edinburgh and feel like that was the perfect spot to try this iconic meal. If you're intimidated by traditional haggis, many places will offer a vegetarian version as well. Scottish salmon. We had incredible seafood all over Scotland. Salmon is one of Scotland's largest food exports, with hundreds of salmon farms located off the coast. You'll see salmon on the menu in many different iterations. We had salmon for breakfast, in seafood risotto, and salmon fish cakes, but it really is best when it's pan-fried and served with some local fresh vegetables. Scones. Scones are a staple at afternoon tea in Scotland, and you'll also find them on many breakfast buffets as well. A fruit scone with some raspberry jam and clotted cream is a classic that never gets old. Since we've been back from our trip, we're working on perfecting our own scone recipe. Eggs Benedict. Most hotels you'll stay in will have breakfast included, and almost every menu will have a version of Eggs Benedict. Eggs Benedict Royale with smoked salmon is definitely the way to go. Afternoon tea. Afternoon tea is an absolute must-do while visiting the UK. We had a full afternoon tea at the Fingal and had the best time. Finger sandwiches and scones all washed down with a perfect cup of tea is the best way to spend a relaxing afternoon. We also grabbed tea while visiting the Royal Yacht Britannia and from a takeaway spot on the Isle of Skye. It doesn't have to be fancy, but afternoon tea is one of our favorite parts of visiting the UK. CULLEN SKINK. CULLEN SKINK is a deliciously creamy fish soup made with smoked haddock, potatoes, and onions. It's the perfect way to warm up on a chilly evening. The soup originated in the town of Cullen, located in the northeast of Scotland, and skink refers to a broth made from beef drippings. Substitute beef for haddock, and that's how we get this famous dish. Langoustines. A langoustine is a relative of the lobster and is similar to a prawn or a shrimp. They're important to the fishing industry in the UK and are caught off the coast of Scotland in the North Atlantic and the North Sea. Scotland provides more than half of the number of langoustines eaten around the world. Porridge. Oats for breakfast might not sound all that exciting, but when you're out exploring the Highlands all day, it's the perfect stick-to-your-bones meal to start your day. We ate porridge with fruit and honey multiple times on our trip and never got tired of it. Seafood risotto. Risotto is hands down one of our favorite dishes, and seafood risotto showed up on its fair share of menus across Scotland. We had seafood risotto a few times on this trip. You just can't beat a classic dish like this made with the freshest fish straight from the sea. Fish and chips. Is there anything better than a huge piece of perfectly battered and fried fish served with crispy chips? We got our fish supper at a restaurant in the port city of Malig in the Highlands, but you don't have to travel that far to find a delicious chip shop. The key to a good fish and chips is obviously fresh fish, but you want to go to a locally owned restaurant that makes their own batter and fries the fish to order. Iron Brew. Iron Brew is a carbonated soft drink and is often referred to as Scotland's other national drink after whiskey. It's more popular than Coke and is orange in color, but isn't orange flavored. The taste of Iron Brew is hard to describe and almost seems to taste different to whoever's drinking it. It's been described as similar to bubblegum or exactly what the color orange tastes like. Iron Brew is definitely sweet, and we felt like it was similar to cream soda, but you'll have to try it for yourself and decide what it tastes like to you. Scotch. There are over 130 active whiskey distilleries in Scotland, so it's easy to find a tour to learn more about this national drink. We traveled all the way to Islay to see how some of the most popular Scotch is made. We'll link that video in the description below. A visit to a distillery is highly recommended, and in Scotland, the good news is you're never far from one. Beer. Scotland may be known for their Scotch, but a nice cold local brew is a great way to end a long day of traveling. Tennent's is brewed in Glasgow and remains the best-selling beer in Scotland. But don't be afraid to try whatever local beers the pub is serving up. We came across two great breweries on the Isle of Skye, including the Isle of Skye Brewing Company and CULLEN's brewery. We also stopped into Moonwake Brewery in Edinburgh. Indian food. We had some of the best Indian food we've ever had at Chaku in Glasgow. And it's been said that Glasgow is where the dish chicken tikka masala was created. The large South Asian community in the UK has made Indian food a popular cuisine in Scotland. Scallops. I probably sound like a broken record, but the seafood in Scotland is incredible. You can find fresh local scallops on the menu all across the country, and we highly recommend ordering some at least once. We had some on the island of Islay that was fresh out of the local waters. Black pudding. Black pudding is another dish that is incredibly popular and yet also intimidating for those of us who haven't grown up eating it. One of the main ingredients in black pudding is in fact pork or beef blood, which ends up giving it a very rich and smoky flavor. Black pudding is often served with a full Scottish breakfast, so you'll have plenty of opportunities to try this local favorite. Bangers and mash. Bangers and mash is an absolute must-try when visiting the UK. Sausages, mashed potatoes, and gravy, what's not to love? Macker's Mashed Bar is the perfect spot for bangers and mash while sightseeing in Edinburgh. Crisps. We aren't exactly sure why, but potato chips in the UK just taste better. We probably ate a bag of crisps nearly every day on our trip through Scotland. No matter how you eat your potatoes in Scotland, they will no doubt be cooked to perfection. Biscuits. We became pretty obsessed with shortbread and chocolate biscuits while traveling through Scotland. Biscuits are the perfect accompaniment to afternoon tea, and we picked up a box of cookies every time we popped into the co-op. Sticky toffee pudding. Sticky toffee pudding is a traditional UK dessert that you'll find on menus all over Scotland. This delicious sponge cake made with finely chopped dates and covered in toffee sauce easily became our favorite treat by the end of our trip. Pizza. Pizza is delicious everywhere, and Scotland is no exception. We had great wood-fired pizza at Paisano's in Glasgow, and we ordered a pie to go in Glencoe after a day out in the beautiful Highlands. Wherever you're at in Scotland, pizza is always close by. There are so many delicious Scottish foods to try when visiting this beautiful country, and we know we barely scratched the surface with this list. Did your favorite dish make the list? Let us know what we have to try next time we visit Scotland in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more of our food adventures, click that subscribe button. If you want to see more from our adventures in Scotland, click right here. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.